Alright, so season 4 of The Boys finale was this week, so here's my full review for the latest season. Spoilers ahead. Alright, so just as when you think they couldn't raise the bar after season 3, they 100% prove you wrong. The action scenes, the new characters, the character development, specifically with A-Train, and the way each episode continuously gets better to lead into the 5th and final season that's supposed to release in 2026 officially, the show continues to prove that it's the best comic book series that's ever been made. So the addition of Sage and her knowledge of everything has helped Homelander and the Seven stay steps ahead from everyone else. Firecracker gave them the fire kick they needed and was leading a group of people who hated the Starlighters who wanted them removed. The new actor for Black Noir was definitely something we did not expect. Aside from the fighting, him just talking was hilarious enough because he's a character who we're not used to even hearing speak ever. Just like Kimiko, who actually ends up finally talking for the first time in a very long time due to the Frenchie being hypnotized to leave and follow Kate, who's a character from Gen V, who made a few cameos in the series along with Sam, making us wonder what's going to happen to Frenchie now in season 5. And speaking of, after seeing what Frenchie has been through this whole season, I seriously hope his character ends on a high note because watching his past coming back to haunt him did make it feel tough to watch in some episodes, so I hope his character ends on a high note for season 5. And speaking of being tough to watch, just as when you think this couldn't up the ante on the gory scenes, they exceeded them in the most nasty way possible. I'm not going to talk about those scenes, but for those that have seen it, you know what I mean. Other characters who's had a rough this season were Huey, whose father had to be put down because of Compound V, and Butcher, who's been dying very slowly throughout the season due to the effects of Compound V, and Lily had two angels, the good angel being Rebecca, and the bad one being the new addition of Jeffrey Morgan, one of the symptoms or side effects of the V that was rotting in his brain. He did spend the entire season dealing with them while trying to convince Ryan, who I'm glad got more screen time, to be with him again, but not previously knowing that until later on that Butcher plans to train his son, Ryan, into killing Homelander since they both have the same abilities, forcing Ryan to make a decision between Butcher or Homelander. However, at the end, Butcher, seeing what Ryan has done to a dear friend of his, did make him believe that there was no hope in helping Ryan out, and decided to let Jeffrey Morgan's character take over, healing Butcher in a way that made him stronger and finally showing us his full abilities that did murder Vice President Newman, which honestly did kind of break my heart after seeing how she decided to seek help from Butcher's team, from Homelander, who was starting to become more dangerous. But this also shows us that Homelander may not be the only villain that would need to be put down, seeing what Butcher has done to Newman and how dangerous he has become might have actually convinced the team to have to put him down as well, giving season 5 possibly more villains now. And speaking of, let's curious I want to talk about are Homelander and A-Train. And when it comes to Homelander, he just always proves and shows that he is the best comic villain ever when it comes to this kind of show because everyone knows that he will kill anyone who stands in his path from him achieving his goal. And in this case, that's to become president, or in this case, the unofficial president. And with A-Train, he had, in my opinion, the best character development in the season or of the series because this man, after being forced to help Butcher's team out with huge information on the Seven, he realized how good it felt to do something just good in general. So because of that, he knew he had to stay away from the Seven, especially realizing how dangerous they're starting to get in front of civilians. He decided to run away so he could figure out a way to stay safe for himself and just figure out a way of ways he's going to do in general because he knows Homelander and the team could be on his butt now. So overall, season 4 really gave us everything and it definitely upped the ante when it comes to the gory, the action scenes, the nasty, the comedic dialogue, and the story leading up to the 5th and final season. We all just know that Eric Kripke, after seeing how he cooked in this season and the whole series in general, we know we're in for one hectic series finale, especially with that tease of Soldier Boy coming up again. Now, my only hope is that we possibly get to hear more of Kimiko's voice, and I'm just hoping that Frenchie's character ends off on a high note because this has been one tough season for him and Huey.